Have you ever felt like your legs just aren't the same anymore? Has walking even short distances become a challenge? That shaky feeling when you get up from a chair, the constant fear of falling. If you're over 60, you probably know exactly what I mean. And let me be clear, this isn't just because of age. Often, the loss of strength and balance in your legs has a silent but fixable cause, a lack of essential nutrients. In this video, I'm going to share, as a healthy aging specialist, 7 key nutrients that keep your legs strong, your muscles active, and your nervous system working smoothly. And I'll list them in order of importance so you'll know exactly where to start. You'll learn what signs your body is already showing, even if you haven't noticed them yet. And the best part? I'll give you simple, practical, and safe tips that you can start using today. Don't wait until the pain gets worse or until you suffer a fall to take action. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll learn here can change the way you walk, move, and live. Your legs can give you back the confidence you deserve, and I'm going to show you how. If you're over 60 and have been feeling random cramps, shaking legs, or a kind of weakness that shows up right when you try to stand up or take your first steps of the day, your body might be trying to send you a message, and that message could be called potassium deficiency. Potassium is an essential mineral, but it's often ignored. It works like an invisible regulator that helps your muscles, especially your legs, move in a smooth and coordinated way. Its role goes beyond just muscle strength. It also helps send electrical signals between your nerves and muscles. That means it makes sure the commands from your brain actually reach your muscle fibers properly. Think of it like the wire between a switch and a lamp. If the wire is weak, the light flickers. And in your body, that means muscle control problems, stiffness, and even balance issues when walking. When your potassium levels are low, your body sends clear signs. Painful cramps, stiffness when you wake up, small tremors in your hands or legs, that shaky leg feeling, or even unexpected falls because your muscles just aren't responding well. Many older adults mistake this for just getting old. But it's not just that. A long-term potassium deficiency can also hurt your bones, because potassium helps keep your cells pH balanced and supports bone density. That means you could be at greater risk for fractures, even from small falls that seem harmless. The good news? Potassium is easy to get through your food, and even better, it's in foods you probably already have at home. You'll find it in bananas, sweet potatoes, baked potatoes with the skin, spinach, beans, avocados, and oranges. All of these are natural, affordable sources. The best thing is to eat them regularly throughout the week. No need to overdo it. The daily recommendations are about 3,400 milligrams for men and 2,600 milligrams for women. But here's something very important. If you have high blood pressure, take diuretics, or have kidney problems, never increase your potassium intake on your own. In these situations, you need medical supervision because too much potassium in the blood, a condition called hyperkalemia, can also be dangerous, especially for your heart. From my experience with older patients, I've seen amazing changes when potassium levels are balanced. People who were always tired, had leg pain, or were afraid to walk around start feeling more energetic, have fewer falls, and feel steadier on their feet in just a few weeks. So before blaming all your muscle weakness on aging, take a good look at your diet. Sometimes what you need isn't more medicine or more exercise. It's just the right nutrient in the right amount. Potassium might seem simple, but it's a true guardian of your mobility and safety. Well, I just talked about potassium, which plays a direct role in muscle balance and leg strength. Now I need to warn you about something even more delicate, and unfortunately, more common than you might think in people over 60, vitamin B12 deficiency. If potassium is what helps your muscles move, B12 is what keeps your body's wiring working properly. And when that wiring starts to fail, the early signs are quiet, but over time, they can become dangerous. Vitamin B12 has a vital job. It protects the myelin sheath, which acts like insulation around your nerves. Imagine an electrical wire with a plastic cover. It carries electricity safely. Now picture that wire starting to wear down. The electricity scatters, things start to fail, and the whole system becomes unstable. That's exactly what happens to your peripheral nerves when B12 is low. What's the result? Your brain sends commands like stand up, keep your balance, or lift your foot to climb the step. But those signals don't fully reach your muscles. The symptoms are pretty clear. A heavy feeling in the legs, tingling, numbness, instability when walking, loss of precision in movements, and in more advanced cases, even loss of sensation in the feet and hands. In older adults, this deficiency is often linked to frequent falls, stumbling, and difficulty staying upright. And the most worrying part? If this deficiency isn't treated in time, the damage can become permanent, leading to ongoing nerve problems. But why is this deficiency so common after 60? The reason lies in the body itself. As we age, the stomach produces less acid and less intrinsic factor, a protein that's essential for absorbing the B12 found in food. On top of that, diets low in meat, eggs, or dairy products also add to the problem. People who follow more restrictive diets, like vegetarians and vegans, need to pay extra attention. The good news is that this can be prevented or fixed through diet and, if needed, supplements. The best sources of B12 are lean meats, fish, shellfish, like scallops and liver, eggs, and dairy products. These days, some breakfast cereals and plant-based milks are also fortified with this vitamin, a great option for those with dietary restrictions. And if your body isn't absorbing it well, don't worry. There are high-dose pills and even monthly injections that are safe and effective. I've seen many patients regain their confidence when walking, lose their fear of falling, and feel more energetic after getting their B12 levels back on track. That's why, if you've been tripping more often, feel like your legs are heavy, or have that constant numbness, don't ignore it. It might seem like a small thing, but one vitamin can make all the difference between losing your balance and walking freely again. I just talked about vitamin B12, which plays a direct role in the health of the nerves that control your movements. Now I want to alert you about a nutrient that goes beyond muscle strength. It affects your balance, physical endurance, and even your ability to avoid fractures. I'm talking about vitamin D. A true ray of sunshine for your bones, muscles, and joints. Many people still associate vitamin D only with bone health, but it does much more than that. Vitamin D helps build muscle proteins, supports neuromuscular communication, and reduces chronic inflammation, which is often behind those ongoing pains in your knees, hips, and lower back. When your vitamin D levels are low, something that's very common after the age of 60, symptoms like weakness, unexplained muscle loss, poor balance, fatigue, and even constant muscle or joint pain start to show up. In more advanced cases, vitamin D deficiency is linked to a higher risk of fractures, even from light falls. And why is this deficiency so common among older adults? One major reason is lack of proper sunlight exposure. Our bodies can make vitamin D naturally, but it needs direct sunlight on the skin, no glass, no sunscreen. Just 15 to 30 minutes a day, with your arms and legs exposed, preferably in the early morning or late afternoon, is enough. But the truth is, as people age, they tend to go out less, spend more time indoors, and without realizing it, stop producing what their body needs. Besides sunlight, vitamin D is also found in some foods, especially fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, as well as egg yolks, mushrooms, and some dairy products and drinks that are fortified with vitamin D. But in my experience with patients, food alone is rarely enough to reach ideal levels, especially for those who already have a deficiency or poor absorption. That's why supplementation is often necessary and safe when done under supervision. The usual dose ranges from 800 to 1,000 international units per day, but in certain cases it may need to be adjusted. The best thing to do is take a blood test called 25-OH vitamin D to accurately check your levels before starting any high-dose supplements. I always say that vitamin D works like a fine-tuning system for your body. When it's balanced, your body responds better to brain signals, your muscles become more active, pain goes down, and even your motivation to go out, walk, and enjoy your daily activities improves. I've seen many patients walk more steadily, sleep better, and even start doing light walks again, just by correcting their vitamin D deficiency. So, if you're over 60 and spending a lot of time away from the sun, now might be the time to pay attention. Sometimes what's holding you back isn't aging. It's just a lack of a simple but essential nutrient. A small fix can make a big difference in your quality of life, freedom, and confidence to move around. Well, I just talked about vitamin D and how much it helps with muscle strength and balance. Now I need to warn you about a nutrient that almost everyone connects to bones, but it goes way beyond that. Calcium. It's essential for the structure of your body, but it also plays a big role in how you move, how fast you react, and even how well you recover after something as simple as a walk or a fall. Have you ever felt like your legs are heavier, your movements are slower when getting out of bed or standing up from a chair, or that you're getting frequent cramps at night? These could be signs that your calcium levels are lower than they should be. Calcium isn't just for strengthening bones. It's key for coordinated muscle contraction. In other words, it helps your muscles respond properly to signals from your brain. That directly affects your stability when walking, standing up, or stepping onto a stair. When calcium is lacking, your body may struggle with these everyday tasks. Calcium deficiency is very common in older adults, especially because the body's ability to absorb this mineral through the gut decreases with age. On top of that, many people stop eating dairy due to lactose intolerance, restrictive diets, or simply out of habit. The result is silent osteoporosis, which usually only shows up after some damage has already been done, like a sudden fracture, often from a minor fall. I've seen patients fracture a hip just from tripping over a rug in the living room. And the hardest part is that after 60, recovery is slow, painful, and can seriously affect mobility. To keep your calcium levels in check, it's best to eat foods rich in this mineral, like milk, yogurt, cheese, canned sardines with bones, tofu, almonds, kale, bok choy, and fortified plant-based milks. The recommended daily intake is between 1,000 and 1,200 milligrams. And here's an important point. Calcium works better when combined with light to moderate physical activity, like a nice walk or an adapted dance class. The impact from movement helps the bones absorb calcium more effectively, which naturally strengthens your bone structure. But be careful. More isn't always better. Taking too much calcium, especially through supplements without guidance, can lead to kidney stones and even calcium buildup in your arteries, which can affect heart health. That's why calcium supplements should only be taken with medical supervision, especially if you have a history of kidney or heart issues. I like to compare calcium to the pillars of a house. They're what hold everything up. With strong bones and muscles that work in sync, you walk more steadily, lower your risk of falling, and keep your independence for longer. And at this stage of life, independence is what gives real meaning to freedom. Taking care of your calcium levels is an investment in the foundation of your mobility and your safety every single day. Now that you understand calcium is the main player when it comes to giving structure and strength to your bones, I want to tell you about a vitamin that almost no one talks about. But it's essential to make sure calcium goes to the right places and works the way it should. I'm talking about vitamin K, the body's real traffic controller that guides minerals so they act where they're needed and not where they can cause trouble. Vitamin K comes in two main types, K1 and K2. Both play important but different roles. Vitamin K1, found mostly in dark leafy greens, helps with blood clotting and also supports bone health in an indirect way. Vitamin K2 is the one that works directly in bone metabolism. It delivers calcium to your bones and teeth and keeps it from building up in dangerous places like arteries and soft tissues. This role is more important than it seems. When calcium gets deposited outside the bones, it can cause hardened arteries, kidney problems, and even chronic inflammation. With proper vitamin K levels, that risk goes down a lot. Plus, vitamin K activates a protein called osteocalcin, which works inside bone tissue to help increase bone density, which is key for older adults trying to avoid fractures from falls. But the benefits of vitamin K don't stop there. Recent studies show that good levels of this vitamin are also linked to less joint inflammation, better muscle coordination, and even a possible slowing down of osteoarthritis, that condition that causes pain, stiffness, and limited movement in your knees, hips, and shoulders as the years go by. In other words, This vitamin helps your body move more smoothly and with less pain. So where can you find this powerful ally? Vitamin K1 is found in spinach, kale, Swiss chard, and Brussels sprouts, all easy-to-find leafy greens. Vitamin K2, which is harder to get naturally, is in foods like natto, a fermented dish from Japan, aged cheeses, liver, and egg yolks. That's why it's so important to have a varied diet to make sure you're getting both types of vitamin K. Now, a heads up. If you take blood thinners like warfarin or Maravan, it's very important to monitor your vitamin K intake with a healthcare professional. That doesn't mean you have to cut out these foods, but you should keep your intake steady and balanced to avoid interfering with your medication. The truth is, vitamin K works quietly, without drawing much attention. But its effects are powerful. Many older adults who wake up feeling stiff, have joint pain, or feel unsteady when walking may have low levels of this vitamin and don't even know it. Fixing that might be the missing piece to help you walk more steadily, feel less pain, and get your confidence back when moving around. Now that you know about vitamin K, the one that helps keep calcium where it belongs and protects your bones and joints, I want to introduce you to a nutrient that works directly on your physical energy and the quality of your movements. I'm talking about vitamin B6, also known as pyridoxine, a key player in helping your body stay sharp, steady, and full of energy throughout the day. B6 is an essential vitamin, but it's still not talked about enough. It plays a role in several important functions in the body, especially in making neurotransmitters, the chemical messengers that carry signals between your brain and your muscles. In other words, it helps the nervous system and your body communicate, making sure your movements are fast and well coordinated. On top of that, B6 is crucial for protein metabolism, the process that helps build, repair, and maintain muscles, which is especially important for anyone over 60. It also helps form hemoglobin, the substance that delivers oxygen to your muscles. So when you're low on this vitamin, your whole body starts to slow down. The signs of a deficiency are subtle but risky. Tingling in the legs, muscle weakness, pain even after light activity, and feeling tired right at the start of the day are all common in people with low B6 levels. But since these symptoms show up gradually, many people think it's just normal aging. They only realize something's wrong when they start tripping more often, slowing down during walks, or just feeling sluggish compared to usual. The good news is that vitamin B6 is found in simple, everyday foods. You can get it from tuna, chicken, potatoes, chickpeas, bananas, and also from fortified cereals. The daily recommended amount is small, about 1.5 milligrams for women and 1.7 for men. But even this tiny dose makes a huge difference in how your body works, especially when it comes to staying strong and stable. Now, a quick warning, taking too much B6 on your own can be harmful. Very high doses over long periods can damage your peripheral nerves, which makes balance and coordination even worse. That's why, if you need to take a supplement, always do it with a healthcare professional's guidance, ideally after a checkup and lab tests. Taking care of your vitamin B6 levels is like fueling a well-used engine with the right kind of gas. It may have a lot of miles on it, but it still has a lot to give. When this vitamin is where it should be, your fatigue fades, your muscles respond with more strength, and even that leg discomfort after a short walk tends to disappear. Sometimes what looks like an aging body is really just a cry from the inside saying, "Feed me better." And the answer might be on a simple, balanced plate. I just talked about vitamin B6, which helps your muscles respond with more energy and strength. Now I want to tell you about a mineral that's often forgotten, but quietly controls almost everything related to muscle contraction, relaxation, and stability. I'm talking about magnesium, the true conductor of your movement. Magnesium is involved in over 300 chemical reactions in the body, and that's no exaggeration. But when it comes to mobility and quality of life, it plays two key roles that stand out. It regulates muscle contraction and relaxation, and it helps calcium get properly fixed into your bones in a safe and effective way. It's like the orchestra conductor that makes your muscular and skeletal systems work in harmony. When magnesium is low, the signs are very clear, although they're often blamed on natural aging. You might start having nighttime cramps, that restless leg feeling when trying to sleep, stiff joints in the morning, constant fatigue, and even slight coordination problems that lead to tripping or losing balance during everyday tasks. These symptoms shouldn't be ignored. They're your body's quiet way of asking for help. In clinical practice, it's very common to see older adults with magnesium deficiency, and that's no coincidence. This problem is made worse by things that are very common at this stage of life, like chronic stress, long-term use of diuretics for high blood pressure, proton pump inhibitors used for acid reflux and gastritis, and diets low in natural foods and high in ultra-processed products that are full of calories but low in nutrients. The good news is that this situation can be reversed with simple changes in your eating habits. Magnesium is found in many everyday foods. Dark leafy greens like kale and spinach, legumes, beans, lentils, whole grains, nuts, seeds like pumpkin and sunflower, and avocados. These foods are rich, nutritious, and help not only with magnesium intake, but also with overall health. When diet alone isn't enough, which is often the case, supplements can be a great ally. The forms best absorbed by the body are magnesium citrate and magnesium glycinate. These types usually bring noticeable improvements within a few weeks. I've seen patients who, after fixing their magnesium levels, had fewer cramps, more energy, better sleep, and improved balance when walking, getting dressed, or climbing stairs. Magnesium is a quiet nutrient, but absolutely essential. When it's missing, the whole body feels it, in muscles that don't respond, in tiredness that shows up too early, and in the insecurity you feel with that first step. But once you correct the deficiency, you can see a real transformation. Less pain, more stability, and more independence. And at this stage of life, independence is what defines freedom. Feeling like you can trust your body again is priceless, and magnesium might be just what you need to make that happen. Your legs can become strong enough to support you again. And that change starts from the inside out. If you've made it this far, congratulations. That means you truly care about your health. And more than that, you value your independence, your mobility, and your right to grow older with quality of life. Throughout this video, I showed you the 7 most important nutrients to help restore leg strength, improve balance, prevent falls, and most of all, help you trust your body again. And as you saw, none of this is out of reach. We're talking about simple adjustments to your diet, paying attention to your body's signals, and if needed, safe supplementation with professional guidance. You don't have to accept the idea that losing leg strength is just part of aging. In many cases, it has a name, a cause, and a solution. And the sooner you take action, the better the results will be. Every strong step you take from now on is also a step toward your independence. Now it's up to you. Take another look at your eating habits, talk to your doctor about these nutrients, and listen closely to your body's signals. And if this content helped you in any way, leave a comment below. I'd love to know how you felt, if you've had any of these symptoms, or if you have questions about the foods or supplements we talked about. Oh, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Here, you'll find trustworthy, straight-to-the-point content made especially for people over 60 who want to live better and longer, with freedom and awareness. Taking care of your health is a way of saying, I still want to live everything life has to offer me. And that first step starts now.